Shares in BlackBerry, the Canadian manufacturer of smartphones, fell by 25% today.
Devices using the company's legacy operating systems no longer work as of today.
In 2007, there was one device that ruled the world. It wasn't just a phone, it was a status symbol. If you are billionaire, CEO of any company, even the President of United States, your first choice was this device. This device was BlackBerry, and the company behind it, Research and Motion, RIM. That was an $80 billion huge empire. But in just few years, that empire was completely wiped out. Their market share plummeted from 43% to 0. They didn't fail because they ran out of money. They didn't fail because their technology was bad. They failed because of an invisible psychological trap, and that called incumbency trap. And understanding this theme might be the most important lesson you learn this year. This video answers your 3 big questions. How did 2 ordinary engineers build a so good device that American president refused to give up? What was the main mental mistake that was destroyed the $80 billion company? Are today tech companies also making the same mistake right now?
Things have gone from bad to worse for BlackBerry. Really officially the end of an era for BlackBerry users.
We're not going to try and compete at the high end. We're going to buy BlackBerry and focus on the low end of the handset market.
To understand how they failed, first we need to understand how they rose. Our story begins in Waterloo, Canada, a small university town, and people who outside the Canada had never even heard of. 2 guys, Michael Lazardis, a brilliant engineer who always obsessed with one question: how we can send the data in faster way over using the phone network, and Jim Balsley, a sharp, aggressive businessman who had one goal: make money. In early 2000, internet condition was not good if you want to send some data or email. Sending a single email from your phone could take several minutes. The network was slow, the phone was basically useless for anything serious. But Mike figured out a clever trick. Instead sending chunk of data by using the slow network, he broke data into small pieces and pushed them to the phone instantly, no waiting, no delay. The old system was like sending a whole truck of newspaper to deliver just one headline. BlackBerry system was like writing a headline on a small notes and handing it over a second, fast, cheap and instant. At this solid physical keyboard, the email arrived instantly, and the security was so good, and it's also trusted by government. Barack Obama also loved it that when the White House tried to take away it for security reason, he refused. People started calling it Crackberry because it was as addictive as a drug. By the 2009, the company worth was $80 billion. They felt completely safe and fearless. January 2009, one man walked on the stage and everything changed forever. Steve Jobs walked on the stage and said something very simple.
Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone.
So how did the BlackBerry react on this thing? You might think they panicked. You might think they called an emergency meeting and started working over a clock to respond. They didn't. They laughed behind the closed door. Here is what BlackBerry leadership actually said. And listen closely, because this one response explains everything. This is a toy. The battery is die less than a day. The security is terrible and nobody is going to type on the glass. And this is called incumbency trap. When a company becomes very successful, it starts to see the world only through eyes of their current customer. It's stopping looking for the new customer. It's stopping asking for the new questions. And when a real change comes along, it completely misses it. BlackBerry main customers were IT managers in big companies. And what did these IT managers care about? Security, battery, and corporate emails. And BlackBerry is perfect for all that things. But Apple was not talking with the IT manager. He was talking with actual user who was using it. You and me. Regular people who wanted to listen music, play games, searching on internet and use the cool apps. BlackBerry looked at the iPhone and thought, our business customer don't care about this kind of stuff. And they were right. but they were looking on the wrong people. In 2008, Apple launched App Store. Within 1 year, 65,000 apps. Suddenly, the iPhone could do things nobody had ever imagined a phone could do. Employees started bringing their personal phone to work and demanding the company to support them. IT managers slowly gave in, and BlackBerry biggest customers started switching sides. BlackBerry did try to fight back. In 2008, they released their first touchscreen phone, BlackBerry Storms. It was big disaster because their operating system was not good. Their touch screen felt like uncomfortable. It was obvious that BlackBerry had no idea how to make a touchscreen device. After 2008, BlackBerry kept trying and launched a new phone every year. But every new product was buggy and simply too late. While the Apple and Android were changing the world every single year, but BlackBerry was just trying to stay alive. In 2013, they also launched their best operating system, BlackBerry 10, and tech reviewers also liked it. But it was too late. All app developers had already moved to iPhone and Android. Without apps, nobody wanted the phone, and without customers, nobody wanted to make apps. It was dead end. Think about that. Once a time a company, it was a huge $80 billion empire. But now it was only just trying to stay alive in market. An entire generation remember the settings 5 click of those keyboard. Today teenagers have never seen a phone with physical keyboard. So what do we take away from BlackBerry story? 3 lessons. Simple, true and powerful for any business and any career. BlackBerry won the word a keyboard. So they decide keyboard will always win. And that's what their fatal mistake. If you want to disrupt your own product, someone else will, and they will not ask your permission. Apple killed the iPod by inventing the iPhone. They understanding something BlackBerry never did. The only way to survive to be willing to destroy your own past success. Number 2, BlackBerry only listened to the IT corporate manager, not the actual user who was using the phone. But on the other way, Apple was talking with their actual user who was holding the phone. And those people convinced their bosses who convinced IT, and they had no choice but follow it. If the person buying it, the same person using it. The third lesson is BlackBerry leadership called iPhone a toy. The war already was lost. Look at history. Nokia, Kodak, Blockbuster. Every fallen giant had one common theme. They stopped being scared of losing. The biggest name in AI, electric car and social media are making this kind of assumption about their competitors. That BlackBerry made in 2007. History doesn't repeat, but it always rhymes. If this story taught you something, you can like our video. In this way, this video can reach out to the another people. If you want to watch more this kind of video, you can subscribe our channel. And that's for today. Hope for the best.